Jai Hare Krishna. And we have Priyananda also, Anananda Lila from Brazil. Paramananda Prabhu, welcome. Jai Ananda Lila, so nice to see you. Hare Krishna. Look, so where are them? Let's see. Spotlight for everyone. Open your microphone.
Dandavat pranams.
Hey, Dandavat.
Ganga.
Whoa, wonderful.
Yeah, we're in Rishikesh now.
So beautiful, so beautiful. Jai Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Beautiful. How many devotees are with you?
Shri Hari, Vrindavaneshwari, and I.
So very nice. So very nice. And after Rishikesh, where are you going?
To Vrindavan, of course.
Wonderful, wonderful. All blessings upon you. Definitely. Incredible. So special. You have to tell us every detail after you return from your trip, all your feelings, all your experience, what you learned, what you realized, everything.
We will.
Beautiful, wonderful. And Lila Moy, I was going to send a message because I didn't see you connected, so I was just a little bit worried about the situation in Brazil, but everything is fine. And Priya, how are you, Lila Moy Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm back to my town.
Okay.
Good to see Shri Hari Prabhu. Good to see all of you.
That's so very nice. So very nice. Very special. Look at those domes. So nice. But I see you just like with t-shirts, but the environment looks a little bit cold. Or is it just smog? Shri Hari. Is it cold? Oh, maybe the connection is not good. Yes. Paramananda Prabhu, Jai Hare Krishna Vrindavaneshwari. So happy to see you. Wow. Anywhere in India is sacred. Anywhere is special. Beautiful. Paramananda Prabhu, when are you taking us to India?
I don't know what to say, Praneshwari.
Let's hope, maybe not this year, because we still have these issues with the traveling, but maybe next year we have to make the effort to go together with you and with Madhusudan Maharaj, and
yes,
hopefully
I think
Bhaktisiddhanta
Madhusudan
Swami
Maharaj,
Maharaj.
he is our Parikrama Nayak, the Parikrama General. And he is warming up to that idea of going to India for pilgrimage in next year somewhere.
Perfect. Perfect. Good timing. Excellent. Before we start, Srila Madhusuda Maharaj is on his way to Italy, so Villa Govinda is decorating the temple, festoons and flags and everything because they are very happy. And we will see him next weekend. But before Paramananda Prabhu, I wanted to ask, what is the difference between a Govardhan Shila and a Salagram Shila? Because I was working on an article and I think the translation from Bengali was not right because it was just like the same thing. And I want to make sure.
Well, we can say it's same, but different. So Shila means stone, refers to stone. And in our case, in our line, Gaudiya Vaishnava line, so when we refer to Shila, it's usually a worshipable form of the self-manifested worshipable form of the Lord. So Shaligram Shilas, there's a whole story background. I'm sure you heard about it. How Vishnu was cursed because of his stone-heartedness. Sometime he performed his lila when he is stone-hearted, cold-hearted. So he was cursed to become a stone. But anyhow, so he became a stone in the Kaligandaki River, which flows at the moment through Nepal, most part of the Nepal, and it starts in Damodar Kund. And Damodar Kund is very high up in the mountains in the Mustang Valley in Nepal area, and it's about 7,000 meters above, not 6,000 meters above the level of the sea. Difficult to go. So Vishnu manifested his form as a Shaligram Shila in the waters of Kaligandaki, and Kaligandaki is not different from Tulsi Devi. Like I said, there is a story. It's a long, very unusual, very beautiful story. There's always a story. We just read how Lord, he appears constantly. He is ever present in the mundane world. In one universe or another, there is always a lila going on, ongoing lila. And then he manifests his different forms according to his sweet will. So again, back to Shaligram Shilas, and actually interesting that you ask about it because we just had appearance of Gopal Bhatta Goswami 2 days ago.
Because of that, exactly.
He's very intimately related to Shaligram Shila worship. So they look externally, they appear as small, round, oval, flat. Really, there's a whole variety of different shapes, but black stones that are found in Damodar Kund, the origins of Kaligandaki River, or Kaligandaki River itself. And they're considered to be non-different from Lord Vishnu and self-manifested. Self-manifested means there is no need to install the deity, no need to invite the deity to enter the murti. Vishnu is fully present. And it is also considered that Shaligram Shila is related to Vishnu, Narayan forms. So Govardhan Shila is a whole different story. Govardhan Shila is the stone from Govardhan Hill, who is also known as Haridasa Varya, the best of the servitors of Krishna, but he is also known to be Krishna himself. So he is the embodiment of Vrindavan mood, and really he is in the center of Vrindavan, and we hear beautiful prayers. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he mentions how Haridasa Vari, Girinripa Haridasa Shreni Varieti Nama, Mrita Muditam Shiradhika Bhakta Chandra, Brajanavati Lakatya Kripta Vidai Sputani, Nijanigata Nivasa Dehi Govardhanatam. So he's saying that name Haridasa Varya, Girinripa Haridasa, came from the lotus mouth of Srimati Radharani herself. So she issued that certificate, the best of the servitors of Hari. So when we worship Giriraj and Krishna, they're non-different. So in a similar way, the Shila is self-manifested. Krishna is fully present in that form of a stone from Govardhan Hill. And the worship to Govardhan Shila is very sweet and very merciful and very easy, and it is recommended in Gaudiya Vaishnava life. So the Vaishnavas who follow Raga Marg, who worship Raga Marg path, they prefer, and this is really their preferable way of expressing their gratitude and service to Krishna in the form of Govardhan Shila. And many wonderful Vaishnavas in our line are also worship Govardhan Shila. Raghunath Das Goswami receiving Govardhan Shila from Mahaprabhu himself. And Mahaprabhu is saying the worship is very simple. Offer what you eat. Whatever you eat, you offer that. Offer some Ganges water or Jamuna water or any holy water and some tulsi leaves. That's it. Very simple style. But on the contrary, Shaligram Shila requires very elaborate style. If you read something about worshipping Shaligram Shila, you'll be stunned. You will put them far, far away and offer full dandavats from far, far away because it is so complex and there's a multitude of offenses that can be made. And there's always a warning, and this offense will land in the deepest regions of hell and this and that. And I did my part. I did Shaligram Shila Puja for many years before I met Srila Govinda Maharaj. And then he disclosed my qualifications, or rather my misqualifications, in a very sweet way. So I had to bow down to my Shaligram Shilas. Until this day, they're waiting to go back. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami, his appearance was not long ago, just 2 days ago. We were in the company of Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, happily remembering his pastimes. Because remember, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he's from South India. He is the son of Venkata Bhatta. And Mahaprabhu stayed in Venkata Bhatta's house for almost, not almost, 4 months of Chaturmasya when he traveled South India. And really, when you think about it, we just observe it as just a piece of information. But when you think about it, how fortunate is Venkata Bhatta and his whole family. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is staying in his home. And they're having interaction. They're having opportunity to serve him, to cook for him, to feed him, to witness him dancing in ecstasy every day in the courtyard of Ranganath temple. All of those pastimes. And what we got from Chaitanya Charitamrita is just a particle of those pastimes. 4 months every day, 24/7, Mahaprabhu was absorbed in ecstasy, constantly absorbed in ecstasy. And this is what Venkata Bhatta, young Gopal, he was very young boy at that time, maybe 5 or 6, as it described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Also Prabodhananda Saraswati, his uncle, the brother of Venkata Bhatta, visiting and witnessing the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. So all of that is absolutely inconceivable. And this is when he received the instructions from Mahaprabhu to complete his seva to his parents. When Mahaprabhu is leaving, Gopal, young Gopal, he is heartbroken. Because he is also massaging Mahaprabhu's feet, doing all the menial services, and Mahaprabhu is so pleased with the service of young Gopal. And then he is saying, soon you will join me. You will come to me, we will meet again. But first, you finish your service to your parents. You pay your debts. And when you're free from that service, one day will come and Krishna will free you from that service, then you come. And your place will be Vrindavan. That will be your place of seva. And it happened. So when the parents disappeared, left the world, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he met Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu instructed him to go to Vrindavan and join the Goswamis, Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das Goswami. Later on, joined by Jīva Goswami, he is the youngest. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami is there, and he is doing an important service. He's absolutely absorbed in ecstasy of love for Mahaprabhu, for Krishna. But he's writing some notes, but not really paying any attention. Sometimes he has inspiration, he writes a shloka and then leaves it somewhere, and then another shloka comes and he leaves it somewhere. And he is such a wonderful Vaishnava and sweet Vaishnava that so many people attracted to his personality. And one day he sees the dream, and Mahaprabhu appears in his dream and instructs him to go to Kaligandaki river, to Damodar Kund. Really, that's another inconceivable thing. He is in Vrindavan. It's a far, far away, let's just say. No airplanes, no trains, no taxis. And I did a trip one time to Kaligandaki, practically to Muktinath, from New Delhi, which is very near to Vrindavan. And I rented a car, Maruti car. Took me 72 hours of constant driving to the point when I had to walk for another almost 1 week. But Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he walks from Vrindavan and he goes higher. He goes to Damodar Kund, Mustang Plateau, which is from Muktinath. That's another 2 weeks because it's very high up. He makes the journey on Mahaprabhu's instructions, and he is not really sure why Mahaprabhu wanted him to go there. But he took it to his heart, so he came and he took his bath in Damodar Kund. And while he's getting some water for taking bath or any other needs with his water pot, his kamandalu, then suddenly he discovers that there are Shaligram Shilas inside of that pot. Then respectfully, he puts them back into the Kund. And then again, trying to get some water. And again, those Shilas are inside the pot. Then again, he's respectfully taking them out and putting back. And then third time he's trying to do that. And then again, he discovers that those Shaligram Shilas, they came inside his pot. And then he is thinking, why is it happening? Why Mahaprabhu sent me here? And then again, Mahaprabhu appears in his dream and says, you take this, Gopal, you take the Shaligram Shilas with you and you worship them. Go back to Vrindavan, your mission is complete. Then he goes back, journeys back to Vrindavan. Again, it's absolutely inconceivable, the dangers and the perils of that journey. And he comes to Vrindavan and he worships every day. And he is South Indian Brahmin. He's born in a South Indian Brahmin family. So they're very familiar with all the intricacies of Shaligram Shila worship. He is doing his best. And Shilas are very happy. Krishna is very happy in that form, by receiving worship from Gopal Bhatta Goswami. But Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he's a Rasika Vaishnava. His heart is flooded with Madhuri Rasa. And he's always lamenting, oh, I wish I had a beautiful form of Krishna, Shama Sundar Krishna, bent in 3 places, playing his flute. I want that form to worship. So in his heart, he's got that desire. And then one day, it was Nisimha Chaturdashi, his disciples came, and by some reason they brought some clothing for the deity. And then Gopal Bhatta Goswami is wondering, why are they giving me clothing for the deity? I have only round Shaligram Shilas. And what I'm going to do with this clothing? And again, he's thinking, again, he gets absorbed in the Madhuri Rasa sentiments. He's thinking, oh, if I would have only had this beautiful form of Krishna, I would have dressed him up very nicely. So we have to remember, in the spiritual world, they're all gopis and manjaris. They're fully absorbed in that mood internally. They're serving Krishna internally. And from another perspective, seeing that mood of his devotee, Krishna is unable to maintain his form as Lord Vishnu. He cannot maintain his form as Vishnu in front of the Madhuri Rasa Bhakta. Like we hear that story when Krishna suddenly disappears from the Rasa dance, and then he's hiding somewhere. And then gopis are searching for Krishna everywhere. They're asking everybody, they're asking trees, they're asking deers, they're asking monkeys. And then suddenly, and Krishna decides, okay, I'm going to take the form of Lord Vishnu, 4-handed form of Lord Vishnu. And then he's there under the tree, looking like a Vishnu deity. And then gopis approach and say, Vishnu, have you seen Krishna somewhere? And with such love and such ecstasy, they're searching for him, that Krishna is unable to maintain his Vishnu form. So the 2 hands started disappearing, and then they're saying, oh, here you are, we found you. So in a similar way, Krishna is unable to maintain his form as Shaligram Shila, Vishnu, self-manifested Vishnu form of Shaligram Shila, in front of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So that morning, he is waking up from his internal bhajan, And then he is ready to do his morning duties, and morning duties will be taking bath and immediately starting worshiping Shaligram Shilas. And really, it's an elaborate process, I know. It took me 2 hours every day just to complete that. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami is way more careful and elaborate than any of the present day worshippers of Shaligram Shila. So immediately he is going to his morning duties, and then he is opening the box where the Shilas are, and then he is seeing that out of 12, there is only 11 in the box. But he's seeing that the 12th Shila manifested into this absolutely stunning form of Krishna, Shyama Sundar Krishna. And that form later became known as Radharaman deity, and very sweet name Gopal Bhatta Goswami is giving to that form of Krishna. So he is seeing Radharaman in that self-manifested form of the Lord. So when we go to Vrindavan, this is our favorite place, one of our favorite places to go. Shaligram Shila, a Lord in the form of Shaligram Shila, who was unable to maintain his form. So Krishna revealed himself in full beauty to his dear devotee, Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And when we go to Samadhi, when we enter, if you go to the left, there will be Samadhi of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. There you can have a darshan of remaining 11 Shaligram Shilas. And you can see how they look like. So this is the difference. Same, but different. The mood of worship is different, and the mood in which Krishna present in that form is also very different and very unique. So Shaligram is Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan himself, and Govardhan Shila is non different from Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna of Vrindavan, and also it manifests a beautiful form of Krishna's servitor. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you very much. Yes, and indeed, Radharaman Temple is one of those 7 special temples in Vrindavan. So beautiful. Thank
We
you
just
so
got
much.
our Australian Jai Gauranga Prabhu joining us,
Yes,
and many devotees joined actually.
yes.
Jivana there is Gauranga, who is very much missed in Govinda farm, I have to say.
Yes, but she said that she was going to do her best to participate in the 2023 Vaishnava gathering there.
Yes, which we can actually announce right away. It's going to happen 7 days before Srila Guru Maharaj's appearance, and we're still working on a calendar, figuring out exact numbers, but you can already start planning. So 7 days before Srila Guru Maharaj appearance, festival starts. And as you know, it's lasted till last night, when myself and Madhusud Maharaj, we went to the airport. He went to Italy, I went to Japan, opposite directions, but this is when we officially concluded the festival. So it's not lasting only 7 days, it's actually lasted several months.
Very good. Okay. So we know. Chandra Divine, she looks so much like Chintamani, just like a clone. And we have our sweet Dana K and Deva Priya. Jaidev is also somewhere with his wonderful photo. This photo, Jaidev, was taken in Caracas on the first world tour. And it's in the house of a beautiful devotee. Her name is Amita Shakti. And is an amazing photo. It's very beautiful, really very beautiful.
It feels like Srila Govinda Maharaj joined the BBBC every time we see that photo.
Well, you know, he's always here. And Srila Guru Maharaj is always here because Srila Madhusudana Maharaj always praises them. So he brings them. He brings them here. Everyone is shy today. All the cameras are off. Okay, now we have our Chintamani in her manifest form. And Jaidev has opened the camera, so nice.
And
And Seva Rupa and Jivana, very good.
And long time we haven't heard anything from Jivana Didi.
It's
Here
so
she is.
dark here and our Wi-Fi is always kind of sketchy. So it's scary to turn on the camera because we might lose you. And we don't want to lose the connection with the devotees.
You're always here with us, even if it's dark. Our Jivana Didi, yes. Srila Madhusudana Maharaj would say, she is bursting to say something.
By the request of the Vaishnavas, but I sort of have a question. I've asked this question at different times to different people, but it's not really a question, but you know that prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and there's the one verse is, forget the past that sleeps and ne'er the future dream at all. Act in times that are with thee and progress thee shall call. It's the, I can't remember the exact name of that poem, but it's a long poem. Alas for those who spend their days in festive mirth and joy. It starts out like that. And then this is one of the verses, forget the past that sleeps and ne'er the future dream at all, but act in times with are with thee and progress thee shall call. So always kind of wonder what is the purport to forget the past that sleeps. Ne'er the future dream at all seems a little more clear, but forget the past that sleeps. I mean, we have so many different kinds of pasts, and so many of them we'd like to recall, and some of them just are annoying, and some of them are just depressing or whatever. So I just was wondering if anybody has any further insight into that forget the past that sleeps line.
How about your insight first, Jivana? What is your take on that?
Well, so some things that you think are in the past are not in the past. You know, like Paraneshwari Didi says, like, you know, like Govinda Maharaj is eternally present with us. He's always with us. So we think of his pastimes. We can think of anything that he says, and many of the exalted Vaishnavas are like that. And those, I would say, don't really count as being in the past. Does that make sense? Whereas past is, yeah, past is sort of like our previous life, but things, even things that we've done not so long ago, but just sort of, they're just sort of mundane, but they come and they kind of torture us. Some things from our past come and they just bother us all the time. It's like your mind just kind of bothering you or torturing you, or something will happen, you'll trigger, oh yeah, I used to do that in school, or oh yeah, we used to do this, or I used to really hate that, or so-and-so didn't like, just dumb stuff like that. So I guess that's the stuff we should be forgetting. And whenever that comes to bug us or torture us, then we should try to take that opportunity to remember, wow, that is not my life. That is some past dream that I had, or so just something in my past. And I should try to remember something eternal, something auspicious at this time. And that actually came to help me in the sense that it reminds me that I need to remember my real life and focus there. But I don't know if that's very sufficient.
Well, it's certainly shed some light on that verse compositions. It's actually in English composition of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It wasn't a Bengali composition, but originally composed in English.
The Jīva Soul. And the poem is Sharagrahi Vaishnav.
Ah, Sharagrahi Vaishnava,
1874.
or An Angel Fair, Leave Me. Yeah, this is a really beautiful poem.
It's so beautiful
Mhm.
that I would love you to read it to us. You want me to share the screen or you have it there?
Yeah, I have it somewhere, but I don't have it right in front of me now. I do have it somewhere, but not in front of me. So you want to put it in the screen in the chat? That would be very good.
It's a beautiful one. Indeed.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful poem. Everybody will like it. Maybe everybody's heard it at least once, but it's very, very lovely.
And with your inspiration, it's going to be great.
I just always merciful to the very, very, very most fallen people.
Here you are, the Jīva Soul.
The Jīva Soul. Okay, let's see if I can. So this is the Jīva Soul by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and as Paramananda says, it is written in English. It's not a translation. This is actually him writing in English. Alas, for those who spend their days in festive mirth and joy, the dazzling deadly liquid forms their hearts for air employ. The shining bottles charm their eyes and draw their hearts' embrace. The slaves of wine can never rise from what we call disgrace. Was man intended to be a brute in work and heart? Should man, the Lord of all around, from common sense depart? Man's glory is in common sense, dictating us the grace that man is made to live and love the beauteous heaven's embrace. The flesh is not our own, alas, the mortal frame a chain. The soul confined for former wrongs should try to rise again. Why then this childish play in that which cannot be our own, which falls within 100 years as if a rose ablown? Our life is but a rosy hue to go ere long for naught. The soul alone would last for e'er with good or evil fraught. How deep the thought of times to be, how grave the aspect looks, and wrapped in awe we become, oh we, when reading nature's books. Man's life to him a problem dark, a screen both left and right. No soul hath come to tell us what exists beyond our sight. But then a voice how deep and soft within ourselves is left. Man, man, thou art immortal soul, thee death can never melt. For thee thy sire on high has kept a store of bliss above. To end of time thou art, O He's, who wants but purest love. O love, thy power and spell benign now melt my soul to God. How can my earthly words describe that feeling soft and broad? Enjoyment, sorrow, what but lots to which the flesh is heir? The soul that sleeps alone concludes in them it hath a share. And then, my friends, no more enjoy, nor weep for all below. The women, wine, and flesh of beasts no love on thee bestow. But thine to love thy brother man, and give thyself to God. And God doth know your wages fair, this fact is true and broad. Forget the past that sleeps, and ne'er the future dream at all. But act in times that are with thee, and progress thee shall call. But tell me not, in reasoning cold, the soul is made alone by earth's mechanic lifeless rules and to destruction prone. My God, who gave us life and all alone the soul can kill, or give it all the joys above his promise to fulfill. So push thy onward march, O soul, against an evil deed that stands with soldiers' hate and lust, a hero be indeed. Maintain thy post in spirit world as firmly as you can. Let never matter push thee down. O stand, heroic man. O Sharagrahi Vaishnav soul, thou art an angel fair. Lead me on to Vrindavan and spirit's power declare. There rests my soul from matter free upon my lover's arms. Eternal peace and spirit's love are all my chanting charms. Jai.
There rests my soul from matter free. When will that day come? I even think I am matter. Incredibly ignorant. Whoa, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jīva Didi.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Paramananda, can you please give us some light also on this question of Jīva Didi?
I have not much light to share. I think Jivana's illuminations, when Vaishnava speak about subjects, it's always, we like to call it illuminations, because really they can dissipate the darkness and reveal what is true. But something we've been reading Padishamritam with Guru Maharaj's illuminations on the verses, and Srila Guru Maharaj also talks about Krishna Lila and how this world is actually intended exclusively to be a playground for Krishna. So we may think we are the center of the world, we're important, and our life is that the only thing that matters in the world. Really, that ego cheating us on every step, every second. But actually, like in the words of Srila Govinda Maharaj, we're just a passing show. One after another, we're taking different roles, one after another, one after another, one after another. And the time spare no one in this world. But if you look from a bigger perspective, Krishna, he is known, Brahma describes him, Anantam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupamadhyam Purana Purusham Navayomanamscha. Navayomanam, that's the word. He is always fresh, and he is Adyam Purana Purusham, the oldest, the origin of everything, the oldest of the old. So whatever happens around Krishna, with Krishna Lila, is always fresh, forever fresh. There is no past. It's always an ecstatic, sweet present, because time does not run independently in Krishna Lila. Time serves Krishna Lila. When Krishna decides it should, do some movement, starts moving, then time starts moving. It is completely under control of Krishna Lila, his desires, the necessity for his pastimes. So from that perspective, we can say, like Jivanadidi pointed out, anything related to Krishna, anything of substance related to Krishna, Vaishnavas, their pastimes, their teachings, especially their teachings, we should also be very careful not to dwell so much on external manifestations, but and that is wonderful too, but not only that. We should always remember, why did they come? Why did they manifest their lila? Like we also, along with other books at the moment, we're reading Brihad Bhagavatamritam, and we can see that Gopa Kumar descended from the spiritual world. He descended from Galoka on request of Srimati Radharani. He had no business in this mundane environment, but following the request of his most worshipable personality, Srimati Radharani, he is here in the mundane world, and he is telling his life story. Does time consumes him? No. What is he giving? It's absolutely eternal. It's timeless. So the focus is, and he appears beautiful too. His form is beautiful, and the Brahmin is very charmed by his form, and he is telling relatively easy to relate to pastimes of him being in this world. All of that we can easily relate, but yet he is aprakrita. He is not touched by the mundane environment, not touched by the time. And he is delivering what is the most important, the message of reality. He is opening the eyes of that Brahmin. And that's where we should put our focus the most. And also remembering pastimes, no doubt. We're human beings. And in this life, the Krishna decided to appear for us in that particular form as Gurudev. And in a multitude of forms of different gurus, different Gurudevs, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and so many other Vaishnavas. They're all manifestations of that divine reality. So Krishna is appearing in that form for us, and in that sense, it is eternal. There is no past. It's always present, always Navayomanam, always fresh, never redundant. There is no redundancy. There is no passing show. That show is forever and always fresh and always new. And the rest is a passing show. So not to dwell on the passing show, and instead focus on what actually matters. That's my vision of that, which is far from being perfect. But I see Sevarupa Didi is also bursting, like Madhusudana Maharaj would say. And wonderful to hear other devotees, because everybody's understanding is so unique. And regardless of how much time you spend, really, we should stop thinking in time. Oh, I've been around for this long. Oh, she's been around for much less than I've been around. That means it has nothing to do with reality. Really, we have to wake up. And like for myself, I really like to hear, like from anyone, anybody, someone who just joined, or someone who just read a line from a Shastra and got inspired, because it's so fresh, even from a person who just came in touch with Krishna consciousness. I want to hear what touched the heart of that person, that particular moment, the very moment he came in touch with Krishna consciousness in this life. These are all precious moments. So Sevarupa Didi.
Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna. That's such a beautiful poem. I don't think I can't remember if I've read it before, but I don't think so. But it makes me think of, being in the moment where, and I think I've heard it before about Krishna consciousness is like being in the present, something to that effect. But I know my connection's a bit shaky as well, because we've got load shedding, which is like electricity cuts throughout the day. But it seems like there's a lot of whatever's on our mind and questions, but yeah, I don't need to like always be taking, but I also have a question. In the songbook, there is, I think it's the Bhajan Giti, that song. And towards the end part, it's talking about you should always remember Srila Kavi Karnapura and his family members. But I wasn't sure who that is. And it keeps and it said it again, always remember Sri Karnapura and his family.
Well, it's a good advice to all of us. He is the son of Shivananda Sena, one of Mahaprabhu's Parshads, Kavi Karnapura.
Okay.
And again, we're remembering the day of that day when Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami appeared. Ramachandra Kaviraj disappeared, and we hear Narottam Das Thakur singing Ramachandra Sangamagi. Ramachandra Sangamagi Narottama Das. I'm always hankering for association of Ramachandra. He's so dear to me. And we're wondering, when we hear something like, we're wondering, who are these personalities? And why is Narottam Das Thakur, the embodiment of Prema, is hankering for association of this Ramachandra? Who is this Ramachandra Kaviraj? And naturally, quite often we hear very little, because Vaishnavas are so humble, and many of them, they specifically requested personalities who recorded the Leela, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Vrindavan Das Thakur, not to mention their names. But fortunately, Kavi Karnapura is very well mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita in connection to his father, Shivananda Sen, who is really, he is one of the main figures of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and his special seva was to organize and take care of all the parikramis. Like devotees from West Bengal and East Bengal would gather together, and they will go to see Mahaprabhu in Puri every year. So a special seva of Shivananda Sena was to organize that whole parikrama and make sure everybody is fed, well rested, and safe to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and so many pastimes related to that, and wonderful qualities of Shivananda Sena, and how Mahaprabhu is giving him blessings, and blessings for his children too, including Kavi Karnapur. And really, it's a whole different story. So we should read Chaitanya Charitamrita once again, and to hear the glories of all these devotees mentioned by the Vaishnavas, mentioned in our calendar, mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And back to Ramachandra Kaviraj, we should mention something since it was his disappearance. So he was the exalted disciple of Srinivasacharya. And we should remember, these personalities, they're not of this world. They all descended from the upper world to assist Mahaprabhu in his lila. So is Ramachandra Kaviraj, even though he came a little bit later, from a very exalted and very educated, learned family. He was a learned personality, and then Srinivasacharya gives him a title. Then he also studies from Jīva Goswami. And then seeing his qualification, Srinivasacharya grants him a title, Kaviraj, means the king of all poets, the all-knowing personality, we can say. But in a very sweet way, not just knowing, not just a dry knowledge, but really his heart is overwhelmed by ecstasy, by love for Krishna. That's why he's Kaviraj, Ramachandra Kaviraj. And then one day Narottam Das Thakur, he comes to see Srinivasacharya. And this is when usually they sit down and he's telling the news. And he's saying, here's my disciple. And then he glorifies his disciple. Really, this is another wonderful thing we observe with Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. When Guru Maharaj is constantly glorifying Srila Govinda Maharaj. The day when he took sannyas was not long before Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja. And normally, the Vyasa Puja day, you dedicate the Guru is worship. Guru is glorified. But Guru Maharaj, on that day, glorifying Srila Govinda Maharaj. So in a similar way, Srinivasacharya, he's introducing and telling Narottam Das Thakur about the wonderful qualities of Ramachandra Kaviraj. And he's saying, you please take care of him. You become his Shiksha Guru. I'm giving him to you so that you can take care of him, engage him in the seva. And even though he was a Shiksha disciple of Narottam Das Thakur, they became very close friends, inseparable friends. And that's why he's always hankering for the association of Ramachandra Kaviraj, and he sings it in his songs. This is just absolutely beautiful, sweet relationship between the devotees. We should worship, and we should also aspire to develop that kind of friendship, not just knowing each other. Oh, you're a cool dude, or I like you, you're cool. Or we did something together, or we go to do something together every day, but not on the deeper connection on a deeper level. And this is why we have festivals. This is why we have gatherings. And that's when we can understand what kind of connection we actually have with each other. We're from completely different backgrounds, but when we come together, we feel like really we're born in one family. We grew up together, that kind of feeling. And that's what most of the devotees felt during the festival that just finished yesterday with the auspicious departure of Madhusudan Maharaj. We say there is no meeting without separation, so we needed to reenact this pastime. So Madhusudan Maharaj needed to leave so that we can meet again and feel some separation, but he's coming back again. So really, during these devotional gatherings, we can understand how deeply we are actually connected to each other. Everyone can feel that. And now I don't even remember why we started talking about it. Oh, Kavi Karnapura. Kavi Karnapura. And so many other Vaishnavas. And Praneshwar Didi posted something I saw.
No, I'm just asking the devotees, I'm inviting the devotees.
Oh, yes, yes.
So please participate.
Devotees are too humble, Praneshwar Didi. You just need to, tell them what to do.
Well, we can start with Jaidev Prabhu, but he had he connected, he disconnected, so he's not here. But in the list, on the list is Krishnendrani, Suresh Krishna, Udaram Prabhu, Deva Priya, Lila Moy Prabhu, Jai Gauranga Prabhu. So all of you are invited. Lila Moy is smiling too much, so he's the first one. He's ready.
I cannot smile with you all presence here. Actually, I'm kind of suffering from the past because I arrived Sunday now from the Christian Shakti Ashram, and just to say that these few days, it was an amazing experience, and go back to my reality is a shock. And I'm kind of trying to remember all those Vaishnavas, all those amazing associations, and I'm living in my past, this material past. And yes.
But they gave you inspiration, right?
Yes, for sure, for sure.
So you have a wonderful present because you're inspired to follow those Vaishnavas. And your Gurudev will be very soon, very eager to listen all your details of the trip.
Oh, amazing. And I'm so fortunate to have you all to fulfill this hole in my heart. And yeah.
Don't make us cry. So sweet. That's the feeling of a devotee. That's what a devotee feels and says. Beautiful, beautiful. So who's next? Who's not shy to open the camera and the microphone? Radha Sundari will also love to hear from you. Jai Hare Krishna. It's always a joy to see you.
I dropped Padma to school and came to the office, and the manager is coming soon and I will start work. So I don't have really some time to think what can I share with you. But I am really happy to be with you always.
I'm very happy you showed up in form because you connect us with India. Hare Krishna. And here we have Vrindavaneshwari. She made it, she connected. Thank you so much, Radha Sundari. Vrindavaneshwari, tell us, this is the first time that you have visited India?
Yes, the first time.
What was the feeling when you arrived?
So I had to talk, to send a message to my Gurudev, because I can't figure now. I can't believe. I don't know my feelings. I can't even put in words to take it to bath in the Maganga in the Ganga River. It's so many things happen here and here. But he warmed my heart with his words, and I'm feeling blessing in every breath, in every step I take in this holy place. It's really emotion.
Very good. And you know, next time you go to Ganga, when you go down, think about all the devotees, all your friends, because they will get the benefit. Think about BBBC and you will include all the devotees.
I'm going to there now, so I'm take this contact. I will think in all of you right now. I'm just walk there now.
Wow.
I came to see you a little, but now I see the clock, sorry.
Thank you for coming. It's so important. So important. When devotees go there and when they share the experiences, it's so fulfilling and so nourishing for all of us who are not there. It's just like you are taking us with you. When you tell us something about India, you are taking our hearts, our minds. You are taking us to India. So thank you so much. So very special. Deva Priya, we would like to hear you. Krishnendrani. Suresh Krishna, Udaram Prabhu. And Chintamani and Jaidev.
And it's going to be Jayadev Goswami's disappearance tomorrow. So Jayadev Das.
You should talk now. Tell him Chintamani. He's not connected, but she's connected. This is her phone. That they don't have video, so that means that their internet is slow.
Dandavat, we have really bad internet right now. We've had storms and there was a really like flash flood and emergency and all that stuff declared here, and we just helped evacuate our friends' horses down a really muddy mountain, and we were kind of the crazy ones going barefoot in the mud and up a hill with no light, and very exciting times we are in. And I'm really grateful for this path of Krishna consciousness, because even when things are like really dangerous and kind of scary and people's cars are getting like flooded away, and the heavenly atmosphere of this amazing, beautiful, opulent place in Southern California kind of gets shattered. Like it really inspires me, because I feel like I really feel Krishna's mercy, how people are, you know, they kind of band together, and there's a sense of community in a world where there's, you know, people are just too busy. So I felt inspired. There were some really great opportunities I had by the Lord's grace to just share a little bit of gems that I've been given. And it's really humbling just to be connected to such great masters. I feel so unqualified. I feel so just like a lost soul and very, you know, low self-esteem and useless and, you know, all kinds of like issues I have. But even despite whatever issues, like there's Srila Govinda Maharaj, there's Srila Sridhar Maharaj, there's Srila Prabhupada, and I can come to Srila Madhusudana Maharaj's Zoom and hear from the Vaishnavas and feel fired up to keep doing the path. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your words. Very inspiring, contagious.
And reminding us about the reality of this world too. Described as Mrityu Loka for those who are not connected to Krishna consciousness. And those who are devotees of Krishna, it is a Leela Loka, the world of pastimes. See how different it is. And there's a beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Samasritaye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punyayasho murari bhavam buddhir vatsapadam param padam 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 yat vipadam natesham. Where he says that for the devotee of Krishna, the dangers of this world, and we're facing dangers of this world on literally every single step. We are not even conscious about it, but every step we take, there is some danger. So for the devotees of Krishna, those dangers are so insignificant. They're no more, and they're ocean-like for everybody else. But for the devotee of Krishna, they're no more than the little bit of water in a footprint of a calf. That's how this fear of material existence is seen by the Vaishnava, by the devotee. So really, it is an absolutely beautiful and inspiring position. So like Madhusudana Maharaj would say, let us all become devotees and be the devotees. Then there is no fear.
Yes, and I was listening to a class of Srila Gurudev where he says the practitioner is a preacher and the preacher is a practitioner. So we are constantly listening. We are constantly having this inspiration from the devotees. We have to share that. We have to share that they are receiving. And I have to say a million apologies because I didn't offer obeisances to each one of you at the beginning. I'm so sorry. And to Madhusudan Maharaj, because he said, I will check the recording. So please forgive me. We didn't.
Trust me, he will do that. He will do that. But Praneshwari, we still have the moment when we're all parting our ways and end, and that's when we can also offer our obeisances.
Yes, yes, but it should be done at the beginning, just like in Bhakti Yoga for Kids. So our beautiful Lila Moy Prabhu, he is an expert now with the mini vandana. Please.
First of all, Jai Shri Bhaktiranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripasinubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Yakshuram Militanjana Dasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavandanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Trise Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashari Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
And you have Madhusudan Maharaj and all the devotees have Dandavat pranams from Krishna Priya Devi Dasi in Sokel. And I believe Kamala Devi Dasi in Wales. So we have someone special just speaking at the program on Facebook.
And just to remind everyone, tomorrow, it's actually very sad news. For the real follower of Mahaprabhu, real devotee of Mahaprabhu, these are the very sad news. Mahaprabhu is leaving Navadvip to take sannyas. So that pastime will start tomorrow.
Going to Katwa.
Yes.
We'll be reading.
And hearing Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj, beautiful illuminations by all of them. Only by their mercy we can understand at least a tiny bit of something in that wonderful, inconceivable lila. Really, it is absolutely inconceivable.
Thank you for the reminder. So we'll be reading tomorrow about it. Thank you so much, Ivana Didi, Lila Moy, Paramananda Prabhu, Sivarupa. Radha Sundari, so happy to see you. Anytime I see you, my heart swells. You're very special to me. Very sweet to see you. And all of you here, all of you on Facebook. It's so important that we have this connection. It's a golden connection. Gurudev keeps us together, and that's the most important thing. Paramananda Prabhu, my obeisances, eternal obeisances.
Jai Paramananda Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakshadar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And we can go on with that forever. And remember all the Vaishnavas.
Thank you so much. Bless you all.
And all the assembled Vaishnavas, of course, really Everyone is
one of
carrying some special gems in their heart.
them. And
Need
sharing
to
them just
learn,
like Jivana.
but need to learn to share it a little bit more enthusiastically, we can say. A little
had
bit
to
more
take the example,
utsaham.
Didi. We had to take the example of Lila Moy and Sevarupa and Paramananda Prabhu. We have to share that beauty that we have in our hearts, that we are getting from our seniors. That has to be spread. That has to be shared. You don't have to be shy. You have to be like Chintamani Didi. She's not shy at all. We have to be like her. She's inspiring us.
And
to
don't be like
bold.
Jivana. You ask Jivana a question, she will ask you another question, avoiding to share or answer the question she is asked. Quite often it happens, but she is also a depository of wonderful gems, a life in dedication.
But she's so special that she comes to you with a question, but then she answers the question that she asked and gives you more information on it.
But then we can remember Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, who said, Vanchitosmi, Vanchitosmi, Vanchitosmi nasamshayam. I have been cheated, I have been cheated, I have been cheated. Everyone drowned in the ocean of Krishna Prema, brought by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but I received not a single drop of it. So when you see a Vaishnavas like that, like Jivana, you really, you just, whatever she says, it's not enough. You know she has so much more. It's like going to a billionaire and he give you a rupee. You're not, I mean, yeah, right. You have so much more there and you're just so stingy. So we have to learn how to inspire.
Here I am. Give us.
It's not, yeah, it's not their problem. It's our problem that we're not a proper cow. You have to inspire a cow to give milk. And for that, you have to be a very lovely cow. And when the cow sees such a lovely, hungry cow, then the milk just flows freely. So maybe we should work on our ability to extract, not the ability of the Vaishnavas to give. They obviously have that.
You gave us a hint.
Okay, homework. We should end our BBBC classes with the homework always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone. Hare Krishna, Dandava Pranam.